I'm from Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Southern California.
Charlotte, Connecticut.
Damascus, Maryland.
Noblesville, Indiana.
California.
Jackson, Michigan.
Orange County, California.
Clinton, Connecticut.
Los Angeles, California.
Chicago, Illinois.
Corning, New York.
Duxbury, Massachusetts.
Washington State.
Chicago.
Litchfield, Illinois.
Anaheim, California.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Williamsburg, Virginia.
I wanted to study abroad in London because I wanted an English-speaking country, and it's the only place my parents would let me go.
Because I always dreamed of it because my mom studied abroad in London, so I kind of grew up on her stories about London, and so I just ended up daydreaming about that and ended up here.
I'm not really sure, it's just a place I always wanted to go since like the beginning of high school, so I figured I should probably do it.
It offered classes that could actually transfer back to school, but I've always known that I've wanted to travel here before, so it seemed like a good fit to be able to take classes and then have this experience also.
Because it's the central hub of Europe and it's a good way of traveling to multiple places.
I really have liked just immersing myself in the culture of London. I love traveling around to the rest of Europe too, but I think my favorite part has just been becoming a part of something besides what I'm used to.
I really love the people that I've met. I think in between traveling to the new places and being part of the school here, I've gotten to meet a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, from a lot of different places, all going to different schools and studying different things. And they've made the trip. You know, among all the cool places that I've seen, it wouldn't be the same without traveling with good people. So,
Honestly, the chocolate here, there's so much candy here, like so much more candy here than there is in America, like, and it's crazy, and I love all of it.
The opportunity to travel, I think, is amazing. To travel through Europe, and the people that you meet along the way is, you'll never forget them. You know, they're a part of your life now, so it's pretty cool.
Is getting to travel all over Europe and experience different cultures and try lots of new foods.
Oh, that's really hard.
The hardest part about studying abroad is studying abroad. Yeah, you just always want to travel and go find a new restaurant or just do something, rollerblade or something fun. So keeping focused on studies is pretty difficult.
Being away from my family, 4 months is a really long time. When I was in college back home, I could see them like on weekends or holidays. So it's a really long time to be away from my brothers and sisters and parents.
Balancing work and traveling and doing other things in London, because I mean, it's not like it's been that difficult doing work necessarily, but there's just so many other things I'd want to be doing instead of working, and so many places I'd rather be seeing. But it's obviously still important to like get all of your work done, so that's probably been the hardest.
I guess just missing my friends and family from back home. Yeah, being homesick, I guess. Yeah, I guess that'd be the hardest part, and just not having the things you're used to and comfortable with, and just getting adjusted to a whole new lifestyle has definitely been a big struggle, but it's definitely been worth it.
Missing my family, I think. Not so much about missing home, like the location that I'm in or the location of my school, but I wish my family and my friends could come here and experience London with me. So I'm not necessarily homesick from my home, except for that I just miss my family.
Trying to figure that out.
That's so hard.
My favorite place that I visited is Wales, actually. And that's because we did so many amazing things there. We got to coast steer and swim in the Atlantic and go surfing, and it was just so unique and so different, and yeah, it was my favorite place so far.
Italy, definitely, just like all of Italy. I went over spring break and I want to go back so bad someday, so.
Well, I really liked going back to Bruges. I really enjoyed spring break in France because I took French in high school and only ever been to Paris, so I think it was really cool seeing France, but I don't know, I really enjoyed like traveling with friends and as a group, just sort of on our own. Those kind of trips have been nice.
Definitely Cardiff. It is absolutely beautiful. I want to live there someday.
Barcelona. I've been to like Ireland, Scotland, and obviously London, and they're all pretty much the same, and Barcelona just had a completely different culture, and then there was the language barrier, but it was just interesting, like making our way through the streets, and it's always sunny and it's really nice weather compared to here, but that was the coolest place.
That's hard.
I think I've learned that I can actually be independent. Down at school, I think I thought that I knew I was independent, and then you go miles away from home and then you really figure out that you're alone and you don't really know anyone, and you really can find friends and find a center here that proves that you can be you somewhere far, far away, which is really neat.
I've learned to be more independent. I am not a very independent person, so being here has definitely made me kind of step up and step out of my comfort zone a little more.
One, that because I'm an actor, I catch on to accents way too quickly. Every time I talk to an English person, I accidentally slip into an English accent. And two, just that, like, when I'm grown up and away from home, like, I'll be able to handle it. Like, it's like, I lived on my own before, but it's like this experience has really taught me, like, I will be fine. Like, I'll be able to be, like, when I graduate from college, I'm not gonna be a complete wreck when I move away from my parents' house.
I've learned how independent I can be and how quickly I can adapt to other things. I never would have thought that about myself before, but I think I've become much smarter in that sense since being abroad.
I could be a lot more adventurous than I was before. I could take more risks.
Yeah, I think it holds true for everybody because you get to see a side of the world that you wouldn't have known existed, and you get to learn about yourself being away from everything you've known your whole life. So yeah, definitely.
I think so, because it all goes back to maturity. Doing something like this takes a lot because you don't have support here. If something goes wrong, you have to figure it out yourself, and you don't have parents to fall back on. So I 100% believe that.
I'd like to think so. I always joke about how I don't want to grow up too fast, but there are certain sides of me that I like to explore more and grow up a bit in. And I feel like being here and traveling around on my own and going through another transitional period really have helped kind of change my perspective on things. So to say I'd go back to the States a different person, I wholeheartedly believe.
I don't think I'm a different person, but I do think I've grown up more in the past 4 months than I have maybe in the past year. I think I've learned how to not rely on my parents as much and kind of be put out into the real world by myself and have no one else to lean on. But I don't think I'm a completely different person. I think I'm still pretty much the same person, just a little bit more mature.
Definitely. I think I'm going to come back with met so many different people and experienced so many different cultures, been so many places that going back to the United States, I actually feel like I'll feel more of a culture shock going back to the US than I did coming here, just because you have to adjust back into the lifestyle, but I definitely think it'll change me for the better.
Ooh. I want to say extraordinary. Like, that's the first word that came to my head.
Awesome.
Crazy. An adventure.
Mind-changing.
Adventurous.
Exhilarating.
Fun.
Amazing.
I don't think you can describe it in one word.
Opportunity.
Challenging.
Exciting.
Incredible.
Bad.
A whirlwind.
Amazing.
Spontaneous.
Adventurous.